So if we talk about the cluster, we'll talk about what are the components and prerequisites needed. If we talk about the cluster part, it need. If we talk about software requires Hadoop tar file. Okay, the framework is written in Java, so required Java, and we need the Linux interface. All these things required for that. So generally the Linux we are using in production, CentOS or Red Hat. So the two things we are using into, and we are working onto this part. So now if we talk about configuration, these are the softwares needed for any of the mode. Either you run the standalone mode, cluster mode, or pseudo mode. For any of these things, software should be same, and it should be the same version. So if you're using multiple fully distributed mode where needed multiple machine, so make sure that all the version of the software should be the same, or else you can face the compatibility issue. So recommended use the same version or CentOS or Red Hat, what we have. The configuration point of view, if we talk about the configuration, right, configuration needed what? Okay, so the configuration for this needed first operating system configuration, and the second is needed for Hadoop configuration. So if you're using operating system config, designing a cluster on a single machine, that's why we are going to work onto the pseudo mode. Okay, pseudo mode. So if you're designing the cluster on a single machine, then the operating system will be the default for the single machine. If you're going to work on the fully distributed mode, then it needed changes, right? So for this, we are going to work on testing environment, that is pseudo mode, where the operating system configuration will remain default. Basically, we have bash RC file, we have uh, host name and hosts are the major file where we have make number of changes in terms of IP address. If we talk about Hadoop having the 3 directory conf, bin, and logs, right? And we'll do the practical as well. So if we talk about the major configuration we have in Hadoop con directory, and we'll talk about this. What is the con directory in Hadoop conf, right? So last session we have discussed many things about the replication factor. We talk about the block size and how to design a cluster, right? And these are the customization process. So what are the XML file we have, we'll talk about, and we'll have a fair discussion and practical as on the machine we have on the Cloudera. Okay. So in Hadoop, we are using con directory. We are using the first file is what? Hadoop -env.sh, where we set the Java path, Java path, which is much more needed. Okay. And we used to set the Java path. Now